Myth number four, soften the glutes to protect your low back in back bends. What are your thoughts, Mary? Let me get 5 minutes on the board.
Just going to take a moment and grieve a little bit.
You hate this one. I know you hate this cue.
I do because the gluteus maximus is like the prime mover of the body. And if you are going to move into hip and lumbar extension, the gluteus maximus is what does it. It's the
Yeah.
engine that shapes the pose. And if you want to protect your low back, you better have your gluteus maximus turned on because it's what takes the load out of the low back. Your low back is
Mm.
a transfer zone and it's trying to get load into the glutes.
Okay, I remember this from our Love Your Lower Back course, which I so enjoyed making and taking with you. Let me pin here. And where shall we show this? What back bend do you want to illustrate?
Let's do bridge pose.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you're down on your back body, arms comfortably beside you. Let's go ahead and roll a little bit to one side and squeeze the other shoulder blade under you, and then the other shoulder blade under you, like you're catching a tennis ball between your shoulder blades. And you feel now how you're already in extension,
Hmm.
right? Which is appropriate because that's the direction we're moving. So your feet are comfortably wide for you. They know where to go. Your heels are comfortably close to the bum. And now I want you to think about pressing your upper arm bones down into the mat. And when you're ready, I don't want you to think about this too much. Just inhale and lift your hips. And what do you notice?
Well, if we're talking about my glutes, I noticed that they're working. In German, they call it knackig. It means crispy, but just the glutes are knackig.
Exactly. And did you tell them to turn on?
No, I didn't really think about them.
Exactly, because see, they knew, okay, the intention is to create lumbar and hip extension. It's my time to shine. The gluteus maximus turned on. Now, how does your low back feel?
Good.
Okay, now I want you to relax your glutes, soften them. What's the first thing that
Yeah.
happened?
I feel a stab in my SI joint.
Exactly. And you dropped.
Yeah.
You dropped in the pose. So now I want you to catch a coin between the glutes and just squeeze it.
Hmm.
And what happens now?
I lifted up and the sensation was like the pinching sensation at the base of my spine is gone.
Exactly. Now your feet are glued to the mat, but you're trying to pull your heels apart.
Okay.
What do you notice now?
That started a little internal rotation in the thighs, which feels good.
Yes. And do you feel a little bit more glute activation?
Yes.
There you go. See, the proof is in the pudding.
Mm.
And we saw it when you softened or relaxed your glutes. The pose dropped, it lost its vitality. And then, of course, you reported the sensation through the sacroiliac that wasn't pleasant. So if you want to practice back extensions and hip extensions, you need your gluteus maximus, the greatest muscle of the body.
Okay, but I've heard a lot of talk about these layers of the gluteus maximus in yoga classes, a little bit esoteric. I've heard things like soften the outer layer of your glutes, but then work the inner layer of the glutes.
That's not how that works. Your glutes are a big slab of flesh, of meat. Honestly, they're so, gluteus maximus. I get so excited because it is my favorite muscle. I mean, they're thick. There's no inner or outer layer. It's not differentiated like that. You can't like activate half a muscle. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not the way it works. You have neurons connected to not, in the hands, it's like 1 to 1, but in your glutes, your larger muscles of the body, it's more like 1 to 10,000 muscle cells and one nerve cell, right?
Mary, phenomenal. Thank you for
You're welcome.
empowering us to activate our glutes and back bends.
Yeah.